When I was growing up, my dad was a biker. He always had bikes growing up. He had, one was like a Yamaha GPZ, like 1100 or whatever. He had a Harley Davidson Sportster. He's just always on bikes, Always wore like Harley Davidson caps. It was like his whole identity. So like growing up, my brother and I, we were around motorbikes all the time. We always, looked up to dad. So we used to like ask for motorbikes and stuff like that for Christmas. And one year my dad got me a new motorbike. This motorbike was one that I'd seen in one of my dad's like motorcycle books. I forget what it's called. I think it was called like a Pooch or something like that. And my dad got me this bike, but it had some things wrong with it. It was a second-hand bike. And that bike basically sat around in my dad's garage for years, like not doing anything. Until a couple years later, maybe it was a few years, 2 or 3 years, my dad bought us another bike. This bike was a Suzuki RM80, and it was bright yellow. I remember it. I remember like the excitement of getting it. We took it out for a ride for the first time with my dad, and my brother was there, my uncle was there. I think it was my dad or my uncle took it out for a spin, and the bike broke within like 20 minutes, and I was absolutely heartbroken. I had all that, all that excitement built up, and my dreams kind of crushed from the motorbike before that I didn't get to ride. This second bike that I got, it was like bigger, it was like more powerful, like I was so excited to get on it. And it was broke and never got to ride it. And my dad would always say, he was going to fix it. I'm not bad mouthing my dad, by the way. My dad's my hero. But it just never got round to fixing it. And that bike sat in the garage as well with the other one a few yards away for years and years and years. And I was thinking the other day about promises and what it's like to have when someone promises you something and you don't get it, how gut-wrenching and how hurtful that is, and how fucking devastated that can leave you. But I was thinking, what's worse than that? What's worse than having that feeling, someone else, just ripping your heart out, not intentionally. The promises that you break for yourself is a worse feeling than having someone else break a promise for you. That's out of your control. But when you promise yourself something and you fail again and again and again, that's the worst feeling in the world. Providing like you actually care about whatever it is, and you're not just going to sweep it under the rug and move on to the next thing. But I'm going to reference working out because it's easy to do, because it's happened to me before. When I've had a boxing match and I've not trained as hard as I could. I thought, I convinced myself that, I was putting everything on the line or whatever, but deep down I knew that I hadn't given it 100%, And always when it gets to fight night and you get under the lights, you'll find out pretty quick if you've trained hard enough. When you're gassing, like struggling for breath after the first 3 minutes, and you still got 3 or 4 more rounds, that's when you find out that you've broken a promise to yourself yet again. And if you've lost, like I have a couple times, knowing that you didn't give 100%, you broke a promise to yourself. You were going to go so hard this time. It's not going to be like that last loss. When you feel that feeling and you know that it's your fault, it's the worst feeling in the world. There's nothing worse than breaking a promise to yourself. Maybe you've had it before where, you fall off your gym routine. You get, really hyped up and like really excited about doing a bulk or a cut or whatever it is, or maybe just getting into shape and feeling a bit healthier. You go a couple weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, and then you go out and get drunk with your boys, and then you fall off the wagon again. You lose all the hard work that you've just done, and then you get all of the self-loathing, hating yourself, beating yourself up, the negative self-talk. It's a really good feeling when you start to put all of your ducks in a row for yourself, you know, keep promises to yourself. You know, it builds discipline, it builds your character. Knowing that no matter what, you've always got your own back. You know, it's nice to have other people, but if you can't count on yourself, then who can you really count on? If you can't count on yourself, you're weak. You can't be relied upon. Maybe it's like a diet thing, like it is with most people. They tell themselves, oh, I'm not going to eat sugar today. I'm not going to drink sweet flavored lattes or whatever. You go past Dunkin' Donuts every morning, it's just staring at you. You go a few days, you're feeling really good. You know, you're on your fitness or whatever. But then for some reason, something stresses you out one day, or something triggers you, or maybe you dip your finger in like a jar of Nutella, and then you've got that taste for it. And before you know it, you walk past Dunkin' Donuts and you go in and you buy 2 donuts, you know, not just one. You figured you've broken the rule now to yourself. You've broken the promise to yourself. Fuck it, you might as well just get 2 or even get 1 donut. And then you hate yourself because you broke a promise to yourself. You let yourself down. So remember, don't break a promise to yourself.